At just 19 years old, Kylian Mbappé became a World Cup champion. Many believe he is the player who could dominate football for the next decade. Good morning, guys, and welcome to Flop Files. Today, we are bringing you a special explainer, charting the explosive ascent, the tactical genius, and the intense, suffocating drama surrounding one of the absolute most phenomenal athletes of our generation. Let's dive right into the incredibly compelling story of Kylian Mbappé. Section 1. The Boy from Bondy. So we begin our journey in the working-class Parisian suburb of Bondy. It's known for its tough streets, but it was right here that a young boy's boundless talent set him apart from literally day one. With a football coach for a father and a professional handball player for a mother, you could say greatness was basically baked into his DNA. His youth coach at AS Bondy, Antonio Riccardi, noted that Kylian's dribbling and speed were just so terrifyingly advanced, they actually had to promote him way above his own age group just to give him a challenge. Riccardi put it best, saying, "He was the best player I've ever seen. He was what we call a crack. Just the absolute best." Picture this. By the time he was only 11, the mega clubs were already circling him like sharks. He gets invited to train with Real Madrid, and he even played a trial match for Chelsea. Chelsea was so confident they had their man, they just went ahead and handed him a Kylian 10 shirt. But turning down all those massive early advances, his family smartly chose AS Monaco for his development. This super calculated, meteoric rise culminated in him shattering Thierry Henry's long-standing youngest player record, making his Monaco first-team debut at just 16. But Monaco wasn't his final destination. It was really just the launchpad. Section 2. Conquering the World. The world truly met Kylian Mbappé at the 2018 World Cup in Russia. And guys, it wasn't just a debut, it was an absolute revelation. This 19-year-old completely dismantled Argentina in a thrilling 4-3 victory, literally leaving a stunned Lionel Messi in his wake. He scored heavily, drove France to the ultimate victory, and then he proved that his character matched his talents off the pitch. He took his entire match fee and bonuses, which amounted to roughly £275,000, and just donated the whole shebang to charity to help disadvantaged children. He wasn't just a global superstar anymore. He was a grounded, hometown hero. When you look at the history books, the data undeniably mirrors greatness. Mbappé became the first and only teenager since the great Pelé back in 1958 to score twice in a World Cup knockout match and to find the back of the net in a World Cup final. He was quite literally walking in the footsteps of a giant. Section 3. The Prince of Paris. Having completely conquered the globe, the throne of his home city was calling his name. In a move that totally shocked the footballing world, he returned to the capital in a monumental €180 million transfer to Paris Saint-Germain. He was no longer just the boy from Bondy. He was now the Prince of Paris. And wow, did he evolve into a terrifying global icon. He became the club's all-time record scorer with a staggering 256 goals, and he spent his days just demoralizing defenses with superhuman feats. Remember the time he casually dropped a 4-goal haul in just 13 minutes against Lyon? Yeah, entirely untouchable. The stats show just how vital he was to the Parisian machine. He was the undisputed engine. To put that into perspective, PSG earned a massive 2.31 points per match with him on the pitch, compared to a noticeable drop to just 2.03 without him. That's a difference of about 8 points over a season, which is often the razor-thin line between lifting a title and absolute failure. But behind all this on-pitch glory, an intense, almost suffocating pressure was mounting behind the scenes. Section 4. Anatomy of a press breaker. Before we get to the impending drama, we really have to understand the mechanics of his genius. Because Mbappe's dominance isn't just about scoring goals. It's about a biomechanical perfection that single-handedly breaks down modern high presses. 38 kilometers per hour. That is his peak sprint velocity. Let that sink in. But it's not just top speed, it's the acceleration. His first 3 steps provide this explosive separation that absolutely shatters defensive traps. When a team tries to corner him, in a blur of motion, he's simply gone. And it's not just raw speed either. It's elite control under suffocating conditions, operating in the 95th percentile for successful dribbles and progressive carries under international duress. Basically, he doesn't just survive defensive pressure, he weaponizes it, turning sheer panic into lethal attacking momentum. Section 5. Heavy is the head. If you're enjoying this story, subscribe to Flop Files and share this explainer with a football fan. Now, let's explore what happens when the weight of a franchise rests entirely on one player's shoulders. You see, his tactical brilliance made him totally indispensable to PSG, which tragically made his final year there a dark, tension-filled nightmare. When he made the definitive choice to not extend his contract, the club retaliated with ruthless efficiency. He was left off their highly publicized preseason tour to Japan. He was excluded from the main squad's training sessions. He faced severe, uncompromising ultimatums from club leadership. Suddenly, the hometown hero was being treated like an outcast. Reflecting on this bitter exit, he didn't hold back at all, stating, "I wasn't unhappy at PSG. That would be to spit in the soup. But some things and some people made me unhappy." His relationship with the club's president fractured permanently. The toxicity reached such a crazy boiling point that it required direct 11th-hour intervention from the manager, Luis Enrique, just to allow Mbappé to play his final emotionally charged matches in Paris. Section 6. The next football king? The Parisian chapter ultimately closed in shadow. But from that shadow, the ultimate boyhood dream was finally realized. A monumental, era-defining transfer to Real Madrid. The sheer scale of this move is an absolute financial earthquake. Even as a quote-unquote free transfer, it came with a staggering €150 million signing bonus spread over 5 years, a €15 million annual salary, and a highly unusual, totally unprecedented agreement allowing him to retain 80% of his image rights. Joining forces with Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham, this mega deal perfectly sets the stage for a terrifying new era of Champions League ambition at the Bernabeu. Kylian Mbappé has already achieved what most players only dream about. But the biggest question remains, can he become one of the greatest footballers of all time? Thanks for watching Flop Files.